it's so awe-inspiring to see James McAvoy actually create 20-something different characters in, like, succession.
Yeah, way to go. Like that, I mean, that's a huge feat as an actor just to, in one movie, be 20, 25 different people.
Yeah. I just did theater in high school, but that's why I'm here, podcasting. Just like you, I love performing and I love creating
Exactly.
this type of stuff. And you had mentioned earlier, going back to your work in the movies, it seemed like you had done pretty much everything from set. You said set design, prop making, costumes. Um, is there, with what you're doing now, any aspirations of moving behind the camera at some point?
Yeah, so yeah, as an actor, I thought early on that when I was doing theater in high school, actually, I thought it was really important for if I'm this is my life.
Right.
My life is making films, being in films, everything to do with films is my life, and it will always be my life. And I know this about myself, and I have for my entire life. And so when I was doing theater as a kid, I recognized the importance of respecting and having at least a general knowledge of what goes on and how things work.
Hmm.
So as an actor, if you don't know, you might think that you're the one holding up the entire show, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have that level of diva-ship going on. And so I started working behind the scenes just to try it out. Wardrobe designer, set designer, prop designer, like everything. And then I realized that I actually loved the entire process, not just acting. And I have this like thing where sometimes I really just don't want to look glamorous. Like I just want to do my thing and wear my beanie and like, work and because I'm a painter and I design things. And so I love the idea that as a model, you have a shelf life. You're going to get a lot less work when you start getting wrinkles. And I can always take what I've learned and move it behind the camera. And I'm really excited to work up to that in my life. I think that'll be really interesting and it'll be cool to see what I do. I would like to direct, but I would also like to be an art director.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
that's because I know, like so many in the adult industry, once, like you said, they started getting, a little bit of age. I'm not saying old. They're getting a little bit of age. They do move behind. They go to producing, or they create their own production house. Things like that,
Yeah.
and they're still contributing to the industry, and I absolutely think that's fantastic. Like I said,
Yeah.
some of the nicest people in the world come from the adult industry that we have met. That is 100% truthful on our end.
But do you get
Yeah.
angry when you see other performers that don't show that respect to the people behind the camera and they don't? Do you call people out for that shit on set if you see
Um,
somebody acting that way?
I think it's ignorant of them, and I feel like if there is a blatant disrespect going on, then I will make it clear. I'm not going to be like patronizing as fuck to anybody and be like, you need to listen to me, like I'm
Right.
not going to be that person. But at the same time, I will interject and be like, hey, this person's working really hard, and you need to give them some time, or understanding or something. Like, there's a lot of people working on this set today, not just us. Um, and that happens. Often it doesn't happen. It happens occasionally where I feel like a performer will come in, and usually the younger crowd will come in because they are just getting well known. They're getting a lot of accolades. They're really proud of themselves. And, I think everybody in any industry has this happen to them where once they start gaining a certain amount of success, it goes straight to your head. And then you have to be brought back down to earth and be like, okay,
Right.
you're the shit, but you're not that much of the shit. Like,
Right.
Right.
a lot of people
Do you
got
try
your
to
back making. Hmm?
have you tried to step in if you've seen somebody just getting out of control? Have you seen that too? I mean, you have your aspirations to go further and get behind the camera. I mean, there's got to be some that are just going ape shit crazy with success, and it just goes in their head and they just kind of waste away. I mean, you've had to have seen that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a really I'm pretty sensitive to drama. I take things. I'm a fairly sincere human being, I would say, and so drama in my life is it comes in short bursts, and I handle it when it occurs, and then I end it as soon as possible. And so if I see somebody who just carries that around with them, at first, if they need help or if I feel like I can do something to make the situation better, I will. But if it's just like the person is like a flaming drama queen, then I'll just kind of like put an imaginary glass container around them and stay far away. Like, not gonna go there.
So,
but
earlier you had mentioned that you're going to be in The Witcher, the Witcher. Is that going to be The Witcher, a XXX porn parody, or is it another name?
It's going. I think it was called like The Cunter or something. I could look it up. It's like
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Are you a video game player by any chance?
Not really. I am obsessed with Diablo and oh my god, this is how bad I am. Link is in Zelda. That's what it is. I always call it Link, and I'm like, it's not Link, it's Zelda.
Don't feel bad. I'm not a huge gamer. Spin is a huge gamer. I am not. Like, yeah. I'm like, I think probably like you, I find like one or two specific games that I really, really like, and then I play those. But yeah, I'm not hugely about like everything. Like, Spin knows every goddamn thing.
Okay, just because sitting next to me, I have 5 consoles plugged into a channel switcher that goes into my TV.
I'm a comic book fan. I read comic books. I occasionally enjoy video games, but my specialty.
Yes,
lies in the books.
Well, same here. I love comic books as well. We're huge comic people. Big movie people, which is why we love hearing the stuff about the B movies, and we're gonna check out the Brovengers. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, cool.
I love any parodies of superheroes. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
that one and Mad Maxine are like. Mad Maxine has like special effects in it, and whenever I'm in a movie that has special effects, I'm like, you all have to see this. It's like the campiest special effects.
You want a movie that we can give you a movie to watch tonight. It's on YouTube that has just the greatest special effects in the world.
What is it called?
The Time Machine I Found at a Yard Sale.
I'm writing it down.
You
And if you would like,
you won't believe how incredibly lazy it is.
And if you would like, we did do a commentary track on it. So if you wanted to sync up our commentary with the movie, you can do that.
Where do I just do that from your website?
Say that again?
Do I just do that from your website?
You can do it right from YouTube. It's on our YouTube.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Time Machine I found at the yard sale or a yard sale?
At a yard sale.
Yard sale.
I will even go on in just a minute. I will send you to your Twitter the exact link. I will DM you the link for that movie.
Please do.
It is by the Actors Theater production, and almost everything is green screen. Like, everything is green screen. They're all
love that.
They are in front of a green screen probably 90% of the film. Most of the acting is them sitting there staring at the camera just like this, talking. And then there's
that's anxiety-inducing slightly.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch.
It's a hard watch.
I'll warn you.
Except for the scene where he drinks the orange juice. That one had me on the edge of my seat. It's literally like a 3 to 4 minute scene of him drinking a glass of orange juice. He goes to the cupboard. He gets his glass. He goes to the fridge. He finds the orange juice. He pulls the orange juice out of the fridge. He takes off the cap. He pours the orange juice, puts the cap back on, put the orange juice back in the fridge, and then proceeds to drink the entire glass in complete silence. No music, nothing.
There's a break halfway. He has to stop and breathe like a little kid with the.
Yeah, and then he
takes some more.
And we're just sitting there like
me when I'm hungover drinking orange juice.
But we're like, is he going to finish the whole thing? Is he? Is he going to finish it? Oh my God, is he?
It's not just bad effects. The story doesn't make any sense at all. And like even the little things, like he's in a house and then he says, I have to go back to my apartment. It's like, well, who the hell's house are you in right now? This doesn't make any sense. And what was the other thing that
he found when he finds the
they have a time machine and then it's totally and they don't use it. They use it once and then they never use it again.
yeah, it's
Really?
like they have the time machine, but then it turns into like some type of like Star Wars type adventure.
Yeah,
and they completely forget that they have the time machine. And when he finds the time machine, he's talking to an old man. He's like, "Well, how much is it?" And the guy's like, "You cannot put a price on this." And the next moment, he's handing the dude like $16 for the time machine. We're like, "Wait a minute! You said there's no price for this time machine. You can't put a price on it. But I'll take this $16 from you."
Yeah, give me that $16.
Give me that $16. It is so.
I want to see it.
It is so. I mean,
it's maddening. You will be tearing your hair out by the end of it.
Like we said, The Room is the best worst movie of all time. This movie is not. This movie isn't even. It's not so good. It's bad. It's so bad. It's bad.
So The Room is a movie I have been fascinated in, and I still haven't seen either. But I've seen all the trailers. I know the story. It's just one of those movies that just hasn't come around yet, but it looks so funny. I can't handle it.
Spin introduced me to that movie, and he came to my house. I think was it the first time you came to my house that you brought that movie?
No, I think it was that the first time, or was it with C2E2 with the panda and we watched it? It was one of those two.
Yeah, he brought that to my house, and I could not believe how bad it was. I had only heard about it too. I had never seen it, and I couldn't believe it. Tommy Wiseau is the most bizarre motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
His acting style is questionable, but also admirable.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with him. I actually, right here, I have his. Oh, you can't see it. I have his the Tommy Wiseau underwear. I had to order it because it comes with a note, and it's a handwritten note from Tommy that says, "To you, love Tommy."
To you.
Yeah, it's really impersonal, but it's love. It's the craziest thing. He's a very strange man.
I feel like that's his entire thing. Is like he is extremely straightforward, from what I can tell, to the point where I think he thinks he's like poetic.
He's very poetic.
Well, Spin's met him. What did you think, Spin?
I played football with the man. He is
really.
Yes, I played football with him. On my personal Facebook, my cover photo for my personal Facebook is me and Tommy, and it's been me and Tommy
and Mark. By the way, Greg Sestero is in it too.
It's been my cover for like 4 years or something like that, and when I was 40 pounds heavier. But he's weird, as in he's eccentric, but he's very nice. I mean, he was very nice when I met him. Loved being with the fans. Like I hung out with him, and then he was doing a signing after we hung out, and he was doing a signing, but he would take breaks in the signing to go out to the line of fans that were waiting to see him and talk to the fans and meet the fans and listen to the fans' stories and just have fun with the fans. And then he'd go back in, do some more signings, and then he would come back out. He loves the fans because to him they got what he was putting on that screen, and that they loved what and he's someone they said could never do this, and he did it, and people loved it. And now you got James Franco with one of what they're calling an Oscar-winning performance with The Disaster Artist, which is based off the making of the Room in theaters, and everybody's loving that, and I'm hoping to go see it this weekend. It's just, and that's like a story you cannot make up, that there's a guy that literally his acting was not what you would consider good.
Well, in a weird way, he kind of parallels Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger kind of had that American dream and came here.
Oh, for sure. What is that movie? God, that one that he was in when he was really young, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, Pumping Iron?
No, Conan the Barbarian.
Oh yeah, Conan. Yeah. Pumping Iron was before. Pumping Iron was his documentary about weightlifting that he did right before that, I think.
That's the other thing. Nice. That's the other thing you need to look up on YouTube is Conan the Musical.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, I'm also writing that down.
It's scenes from the Conan movie, but it's a guy doing an Arnold impersonation, but he's singing it like it's a musical, like a Rodgers
Oh,
and Hammerstein
it's the
musical.
funniest damn thing. There's also, isn't there like Predator the musical?
They did all sorts of musicals for
A lot
Arnold.
of Schwarzenegger movies, the musical with Arnold singing, and they're hilarious.
With Arnold singing?
Yeah, it's a guy that sounds like, it's not really Arnold, but it's a guy that
Okay.
sounds just like him, but he's singing
So
like
I met
musical
him.
versions of Predator.